Retirement is for people that don't know how to win anymore. Why are the rich people so greedy? Why don't they just retire? Why don't they just buy themselves an island and drink margaritas and enjoy their wealth? Really, the rich people in this world have everything they could ever dream of. They've got so much capital that's impossible to consume it all. It's clear why the less privileged people have to work, right? They're just trying to get by, just trying to pay the bills. It's also clear why the middle class continues to work. It's just to gain some status, to gain some security, to potentially improve the lifestyle. But once you've hit a certain level, there is no improvement of lifestyle anymore. There is plenty of security. And obviously, there's no question about making ends meet. So something has to be changing in terms of motivation. When you've got tens of millions of dollars, why do you need hundreds of millions of dollars? You've got enough money, enough capital for multiple lifetimes. You've got enough money for your grandchildren to retire once they are born. Why still work so hard? I believe the reason for the financially successful people to continue to strive forward is the reason why they got there in the first place. It's the desire for growth. It's the desire for progress. It's the desire for improvement. It's really about the question, will tomorrow be better than today? Imagine the following, right? Let's say your income was to steadily increase. So let's say it would move from 100, so let's say 100 is the benchmark, from 100 to 110 to 120 to 130, and then would jump to 160, right? So let's say that's thousands of dollars per year, right? So you have continued progress, and that progress is even accelerating. Probably once you hit the 160K, you're relatively content, right? Things are great. But now imagine a slightly different path. So you also start at 100, you get to 130 after a year, then to 260, and then to 160, and then again 160. How would you feel if you were once at 260 and now you're at 160 stuck and you stay there? How would you feel as that person compared to the first one that just had accelerating growth? You're still at 160 after the same amount of years, yet it feels much worse to come from a higher level down to a lower level. So really, it's the development that gives us pleasure or pain. And so sometimes you hear those rich people say that, right? It's not about the money anymore. And what they probably mean is it's not about consumption anymore. It's about the game. I just want to win in the game. What I actually think is happening here, that there's some kind of conflation between the development, potentially the personal character development, and the development for wealth. Because very often, in order to grow wealth, in order to grow income, we also have to grow our character. It requires to overcome challenges in order to grow financially as well. And the nice thing about the system is it's very easy to measure dollars. It's not that easy to measure personal progress. So this is how it might start out, right? You might have a very simple job, and then you learn technical skills. And with the technical skills, you suddenly can sell your time for a higher hourly rate, and you become wealthier, right? You suddenly have more money available. Once you've done that, you maybe also work on your communication skills. Suddenly you become a manager. So you manage other people with technical skills. Again, a jump in income coming from personal development. And let's say then you're okay to also getting exposed to the public. So you don't just teach a small team of doing things. Maybe you've got a YouTube channel and you talk about your technical skills in front of many, many people, and then open yourself up to potential criticism, right? That's why so many creators are afraid of the comments, of negative comments, because suddenly you're exposed to the world. That's also some kind of character development that's required, right? You have to be able to handle criticism of the entire world, of many thousands of people potentially. That's probably the reason why so many people are afraid to even start. The character development hasn't yet happened. Let's say you launch a big project in front of many, many people. That project has some risk, right? Suddenly you expose yourself to even more criticism. Suddenly you have to be okay with failing in front of many, many people. That also takes more courage. And so it goes on and on and on. right? You start to do public speeches, you start to appear on live television, you do all of those kinds of things that most people would be afraid of. And there is correlation between those steps of personal development and creation of wealth. And so that's maybe what's meant by winning in the game, right? Just progressing and then seeing that progress quantified in dollar amounts. And so are the rich just greedy? Do they just need more and more money? Probably not, right? They simply have chosen that metric as their metric of progression. There are other metrics as well, right? So let's say you're in sport, your metric might be to win a certain competition, or your metric might be how many kilograms can you bench. Or if you're very deep into health, your metric might be what's the sleep score, right? How consistent am I with my sleep? Or what's my BMI? What's my body fat percentage? Everybody likes to progress in a way, and the measures of progression are simply just different based on what we like to put our focus on. And people that got wealthy in the first place very likely have their focus just on wealth creation mainly. And so I think it's psychologically more complex. People are not interested in consumption anymore once you're at the tens of millions of dollars. People are just interested in progress. And if you fall from 20 million down to 10 million, you will be incredibly sad. But if you move from 5 million up to 10 million, you will be happy. There is a desire that tomorrow will be better in some way, shape, or form compared to today. There needs to be something to look forward to. Or maybe on a more fundamental level, there needs to be hope for something. It's all about staying optimistic about the future, not seeing things just being stable or potentially even regressing. Things need to improve. That's normally how we build satisfaction over time. If you got something out of this video, then feel free, of course, to subscribe. There's also a playlist. Just click on this channel's icon. There's under content or under videos, there's a playlist where you've got several of those kinds of videos. Feel free to simply just watch them all if you found the content of this video interesting. Thanks for watching. See you next time on YouTube. Feel free to also check out the premium membership. This is where I share how I personally manage my wealth. See you next time. Cheers.